So, what do you make of that? 2 goals up with a couple of minutes left. What do you make of the finish?
That's your question?
That's the first question.
Right. Oh, well, we clearly set the game up to, I mean, how long were we leading for? Just about the entire game. So it's obviously bitterly disappointing to lose from that position. You know, but we didn't close it out, so we're never able at any point in the game to really put it beyond doubt. Even though we probably kept them at arm's length, we couldn't keep them, or we couldn't break the margin any further than that. So, you know, they're a good side. They just kept persisting and kept coming at us, and thought they would. And we made a couple of mistakes at the end, and they did a couple of very good things. So, yeah, it's pretty gut-wrenching, obviously, but you know, there's a lot to like about the way we're playing. I mean, there's a lot to like about our footy side, and you know, I think we've got to keep focusing our team on the fundamentals of the game, but little tiny things are killing us, you know, and you know, they're really fixable, and that's the exciting thing. I mean, we've played West Coast at their home ground, Hawthorn, Collingwood, Geelong, Sydney, you know, and been for large parts of all those games, had them under control. And if there are better teams in the competition, you know, Fremantle, Essendon, you know, we played most of them, so pretty competitive against them all. So there are a lot of positives to take out of it.
Did you not get enough benefit out of that first quarter where you ran over 22 inside, 50s to 9? Seems like you could have been well and truly away by quarter time.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious, you know, that when you dominate play like that, you'd like to capitalise on it a bit more. But, you know, I think we got those entries because of the things we were doing well. So, you know, you can look at it a couple of ways. You know, you create the opportunity, you want to take all the opportunities. We didn't, but you know, I prefer to look at the things that set us up to give us the opportunity to get the ball forward that amount of time. So, yeah, as I said, a lot of pleasing things, but you know, we sit here at another close loss, so it's pretty disappointing. But that's not, you know, that's not an inability to handle pressure or anything like that. It's just, you know, an inexperienced team making some crucial mistakes. We'll fix that though. I mean, they're very fixable. So
you didn't get the rub of the green last few minutes there, did you? There was a couple of interesting free kicks. One to Scott Selwood near the end, and another one to Shuey, which led directly to a goal.
Oh, yeah. We'll just focus on what we can control. I mean, there were some mistakes we made defensively as well. Not that I don't know if they were mistakes, the umpiring decisions, but I'll focus on our mistakes and let the umpires, directors, coach up their umpires as well. I mean, umpires have got you know, such a hard job, so they're going to make good decisions, some bad decisions, some indifferent ones. Some are going to go for you, some are going to go against you. As a coach, you know, and for our supporters, I mean, I've got to do my job and coach my players. It doesn't help our football team whinging about umpires. So you can ask the questions if you want, but you're not going to get a response from me about the performance of umpires. You know, our supporters, footy fans in general, can comment on that, but it's not my place to comment.
Right, is it hard to coach your players around the advantage rule? Is there still some confusion about what to do when the whistle blows?
Yeah, there is, but I was of the distinct understanding that if you stopped when you had the ball, it's your free kick. Like Ryan Bastanak stopped and looked at the umpire and he called him to play on. I mean, isn't it Bastanak's call? That was my understanding. But I mean, look, even that. I mean, we would ask Ryan there. He shouldn't have played on, you know, and you know, I thought he chose not to take the advantage, but you see that a lot. So I think, is it the player's call? Is it once the umpire calls it, it's play on regardless of what the player then does? I'm not sure, but I think again, we'll focus on what we can control. I didn't think Ryan should have played on initially, even though he stopped straight away.
There was a crucial stage in the game as well. Eagles had just taken back the lead, so chance there to regain a bit of momentum. Yeah,
but we kicked the next goal, so you know, you just move on. I mean, things happen pretty quickly. Mistakes are made by both teams, and you just move on.
As you touched on earlier, it's your third tight loss this year. How heartbreaking is it for the players, and what can they learn from those sort of games when they come so close?
Oh, you just look at the reasons why, and there are always reasons. You know, and even when you win, you make mistakes, and you go back and you coach it and you drill it and you work on those things with your players. But of course, it's disappointing to put yourself in positions in games where you do a lot right to win and you don't come away with the result. It's bitterly disappointing for the players, but it's almost becoming a cliche now. It's character building. You know, you go through tough things in footy, and there are 18 teams in the comp now. We've got 45 players on our list. 23 don't play every week. They're all dirty about that. So you go through ups and downs in football, and we're experiencing some really bitter losses because we've done a lot right to win those games and we haven't. So we'll learn from that and get better, because that's our only option.
We saw with Richmond last year, those kind of type results can either make or break your season.
Yeah.
Do you fear that, you know, you've already been on the wrong side of 3 already, that it could really come back to haunt you?
Well, it's not going to come back to haunt us because it's happened. I mean, what do we do? If we don't finish where we want to finish at the end of the year, do we look back and say, what if? I mean, people are going to do that anyway. I mean, we're not about that. We still think, I mean, as I said, probably if you put Fremantle and Essendon aside, I hope I'm not missing anyone there, but I think we played the 5 best teams in the competition and pushed them all away. So we'd be crazy just to sit here crying over spilt milk. I mean, we'll just keep looking forward and keep getting better, and now we've shown we can compete against good sides. Now we've got to be able to finish off good sides, and you know, we haven't been able to do that on a couple of occasions now.
Brad, subbing Jack off the time he did, there was no injury concern, just to get more run? Or?
No, he just looked a little bit tired, so you know, it's been a big week for him. You know, journalists coming out of the woodwork wanting to speak to him, and you know, he's not able to walk down the street without, and he's such a nice guy, he wants to give everyone the time of day, but he's just, you know, potentially, he had his opportunities still early, he looked dangerous, he just couldn't quite, you know, it's just that fine line with him at the moment, whereas he's a young player and yeah, he just couldn't quite take his opportunities, but he'll get better and better. He just looked tired, and you know, we had Sam Gibson fresh and ready to go, so we just wanted to inject some more run.
How do you think he handled the week?
Really well. I mean, we've spoken to him about staying level-headed, keeping his feet on the ground and just going about his business. I tried to stress all week that his career is in its infancy. He was drafted as a rookie selection from a non-traditional football background. He's got a lot of work to do. You know, people saw what he did last week and his great debut, and they want him to do that all the time, and that's just not going to happen. So he'll get better, and you know, we'll keep working with him.
Did you get caught up at all in that moment when the back went up against each other in the ruck and he won the tap?
No, I wasn't even looking at it, to be honest. I was looking down the other end. So, but I had a look at it on the vision, and yeah, it's exciting going forward. And you know, I hope you know, with Nick and you know, his steep rise to one of the elite players in the competition now, I hope that a lot of other people from different backgrounds start to look at our game, and there's a big and growing Sudanese population in Australia who have never been exposed to our game, who now have got a taste for it. So, you know, hopefully more Sudanese boys start to play our game, and we see some of those great athletes playing, because it was a super atmosphere tonight. The crowd just really got behind the duel, and you know, I hope Nick and Majak have a great rivalry for another decade. It'd be nice.
Aaron Black had a good night too.
Yeah, we've been wanting to get Blackie into our side for quite a while. He's a good player, good WA boy, and you know, we rated him very highly in his draft year, and you know, he played on some quality defenders at times today and did really well. So, but again, very inexperienced player. Played, I think, 6 or 7 games, something like that. So, you know, to get a performance like that out of a 6 or 7 game key forward is pretty impressive, and augurs well for the future for our club.
In terms of his accuracy, it didn't even look like he was going to miss.
No, it's one of his strengths. He's a very, very good set shot for goal.
Any injury concerns at all come out tonight?
No, all clear.
Brad, it was a really nice gesture if you seek out Darren Glass. You must have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, I do. It makes me feel, or maybe it makes him feel old, that an opposition senior coach is is catching up with him, because I played a lot against him, and he was always a fierce competitor. Got a lot of respect for him as a player and as a person, and I think West Coast under Woosha produced some quality individuals. And you look at Dean Cox and Darren Glass and Matt Prittis and the Selwood boys, they're quality guys. So I think he's been a great player over a long period of time, and to play 250 games and captain his footy club is a fantastic effort.
That's right.